It's my honor to read a resolution proclaiming February 2025 as Civil Grand Jury Awareness Month in our county. It reads as follows. Whereas every year in each of California's 58 counties, 19, or based on county size, perhaps 11 ordinary citizens take an oath to voluntarily serve a term of 1 year as civil grand jurors. And whereas grand juries have been in existence since the adoption of California's original Constitution in 1849 and 50. And whereas civil grand juries conduct their investigations under the auspices of the Superior Court of California and have broad access to public officials, employees, records, and information. One of the most important functions of a civil grand jury is to review the operations of the officers, departments, and agencies of local government. And whereas civil grand juries are charged with investigating and reporting on local governmental operations to assure that their responsibilities are being fulfilled legally, efficiently, honestly, and in the best interest of the public. Civil grand juries serve as a watchdog authority and are well suited to the effective investigation of local governments because they are independent bodies, operationally separate from the entities and officials they investigate. And whereas the civil grand jury's fact-finding efforts result in reports that contain specific recommendations aimed at identifying problems and offering ways to improve government operations and enhance responsiveness. And whereas the hard work done by civil grand juries has a great effect on our communities and makes California a better place to live. And whereas the reward of being a civil grand juror is the satisfaction received from working with fellow residents and community members to improve local government for all. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the efforts of those jurors, both past and present, who have volunteered their time and service to the San Luis Obispo County Civil Grand Jury. Now, therefore, be it resolved and ordered that the Board of Supervisors of the County of San Luis Obispo, State of California, does hereby proclaim February 2025 as Civil Grand Jury Awareness Month in the County of San Luis Obispo.
Nancy Welts, San Luis Obispo. I'm talking to you today about the San Luis Obispo County Grand Jury, and I want to thank Supervisor Gibson for reading that proclamation. As he mentioned, each year all 58 counties in California must impanel a civil grand jury. Grand juries have always had two distinct functions, criminal and civil. Function of a criminal grand jury is to review indictments brought by the county district attorney to determine if there is sufficient evidence to hold a trial. The civil grand jury is effectively a citizens' watchdog group that investigates county, city, and special district governments to ensure they're operating efficiently and administering citizens' tax dollars appropriately. Evidence gathered in a grand jury investigation remains confidential unless it is included in a published report. It is through the report and response process that problems in government operations are brought to the public's attention. When public entities implement the grand jury's recommendations, local government operations may be improved. The civil grand jury is an independent body of 19 citizen volunteers who will investigate and report on the affairs of local government and make ways to make it more efficient, effective, transparent, and accountable. This includes learning about how our local government works, their policies and procedures, identify issues, and make recommendations to save money, improve services, and solve problems. Grand jurors may meet many elected officials, law enforcement, various employees throughout the county, cities, special districts, and coordinate with county leaders. Often, investigations are initiated as a result of a citizen complaint. Each jury has the power to select whatever topic it feels are appropriate to investigate. California law requires one civil grand jury report be published each year. Each civil grand jury has the prerogative to decide the number of reports it will publish beyond the one required by law. Who is on the grand jury? There are statutory requirements to serve as a grand juror, as shown on the slide, such as being a U.S. citizen, having resided in our county for at least 1 year, and being proficient with the English language. Serving on the civil grand jury is a rewarding experience. We look for applicants who are interested in improving how our local government works, are good listeners who can ask thoughtful questions, understand the importance of keeping information confidential, understand the importance of cooperation and compromise, and we hope that they are computer literate. The average time spent serving on the civil grand jury is about 20 hours a week. I encourage the Board of Supervisors to share this exciting opportunity with their constituents and encourage them to apply. Applications can be found at the court website, www.slo.courts.ca.gov. The deadline is April 18th. Lastly, I want to thank the Superior Court of California, County of San Luis Obispo, for their continued support, assistance, and guidance as we recognize February as Civil Grand Jury Awareness Month. And a special thank you to court personnel, Presiding Judge Rita Fetterman, Court Executive Officer Michael Powell, Deputy Executive Officer Dana Dowse, and Court Operations Manager Nikki Rodriguez. Thank you again.
Okay, any other public comment regarding recognizing the Civil Grand Jury Month? Very good. Okay, I'll bring it back to the board then. Thank you so much, Nancy, for that informative presentation, and look for comments. Supervisor Paulding?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for being here. What a pleasure it is to be able to honor you and all the work that you do. It's really important work, so thank you for giving a good presentation, too. Keep what you're doing on the radar for us. Thanks.
Supervisor Gibson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll add my personal thanks for the work you do at striking the 20 hours a week is not a trivial commitment, and that we get engaged and energetic citizens willing to do that is a real testament to your commitment to the independent oversight of a very complicated system that is government. And I appreciate your efforts to dig in and render judgment on it.
Supervisor Pashang?
I'd just like to thank you for your professionalism. It's a great organization. I would actually doubt the 20 hours a week because some of these folks work a lot more, but we don't want to scare anybody away. So we'll go with 20 hours a week, but it's really a professional organization. It does a great job for our community. So thank you.
And I will just add my comments that, as Supervisor Gibson said, things are very complex these days. And really, the grand jury really digs in and brings it back to the citizens so they can understand it, why things went a certain way, and get to the real details that are often missed in our proceedings as well as in the newspaper and otherwise. And so it's a really big contribution that the grand jury makes to our county. And we really want to encourage people as they have the time to participate in it, because you learn a lot. And it looks like it's, I think that the group really gains an affection and admiration for each other and thinking and the different types of thought that comes forth. So thank you so much.